ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador Program from EasterSeals stop by the podcast to continue our ComEd EnergyForce Podcast series in celebration of the ComEd EnergyForce Program, episode 424 of the Special Chronicles Podcast starts right now on SpecialChronicles.com. The mission of how I started podcasting and started Special Chronicles is giving respect and voice to those of us with special needs. I became an athlete leader of Special Olympics Illinois, and when I recorded the audio of the speeches that I was given and putting those up as podcasts, I soon received messages of encouragement, and I learned that it was a powerful platform and really helping to make a difference in people's lives. 12 years ago, I didn't expect that anybody would want to even listen to me. We have over 42,316 listeners per month. It's a humbling experience. I'm really grateful to make a difference in other people's lives.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
Podcasting since 2008. This is the show where we're broadcasting disability stories from an insider's perspective, and we are giving a voice to people with special needs. This is your weekly guide to find and joy, acceptance, and inclusion.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. I lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome back to the Special Chronicles show. My name is Daniel, your host and founder of Special Chronicles and Excelon Shriver International Global Messenger with Special Olympics. And I'll add on to that introduction, ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador. And so excited to be back behind the mic, and so excited to welcome our guest to the program. And when I introduce him, I'll let you all know about a giveaway for our live stream viewers. If we have any of you tuning in live, I don't know if you do, if we will, but we'll see. But first, let's go ahead and welcome. Please, put your virtual hands and put together as we welcome fellow ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador Carter Sanders from EasterSeals to the program.
Hello.
Welcome, Carter, and I believe this is your first year with the ComEd EnergyForce program?
Yes, that is correct.
Awesome. And before we begin with your introduction, I want to remind our live stream viewers, if you enter the keyword ComEd, that's COMED, ComEd, into the comments, then you will be entered to win a giveaway, which is some of the swag that we have to give away. You see it on the screen, on the table that's on the screen. A bunch of different ComEd merch, a little swag bag. I just, we did it on last week's episode of a different podcast I produced along with my girlfriend, and I just sent in the mail a package to a winner of last week's giveaway that we did on this live stream show. So once again, only for the live stream viewers, if you enter the keyword ComEd, COMED, in the comments, then you will be entered to win. If with that, but first, Carter, why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners? Tell us the disability you were diagnosed with, your connection to our disability community, and your role. Along with me, we have the same role at the ComEd EnergyForce program.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. My name is Carter Sanders. I am 38 years old. I was born and raised in Chicago. I was diagnosed with autism when I was real young, but later on, doctors and teachers felt that I fall under the category of more Asperger's syndrome, which is a higher functioning form of autism. I am a ComEd Ambassador for EasterSeals, and my duties as a ComEd Ambassador for EasterSeals is to promote clean energy.
Awesome. And let's go ahead and can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and tell us a little about your backstory and your early years growing up with a disability?
Sure. Even though I was diagnosed with autism at a young age, I didn't really know too much about autism until my teenage years. Before coming to EasterSeals, I was at a private school that was a lot different from EasterSeals. At first, it was a good school when it comes to me and my needs, but after 2 or 3 years, I was often misunderstood by my peers. Many of them thought I was unusual just because I was interested in anything pertaining to superheroes, video games, and serious stories. I am still interested in them, though. Anyway, I don't think I was bullied per se. I may have been the few, if not the only student diagnosed with autism enrolled at that school, and there was minimal, if any, knowledge about the subject in the late 90s. I also had a difficulty staying on task and was often disorganized in my schoolwork as I was pretty much in my own little world. I've often struggled with some of my fine motor skills, primarily my handwriting. For most of my childhood, I know to be very sensitive with the sound of the fire alarm. It has made my school experience very difficult. When I started going to EasterSeals, I immediately learned that the fire drill will be less intense and it would be in the form of a pre-recorded bell. I also learned that not only did they seldom have fire drills, but there was prior notice. Years later, someone pointed out that I wasn't the only one sensitive to the sound of fire alarm, as sensitivity to the sound of fire alarm is quite common with those on the autism spectrum.
Awesome. And once again, I want to remind our live stream viewers, if you enter the keyword ComEd, COMED, in the comments, then you will be entered to win our giveaway of some ComEd merch. Once again, to our live stream viewers, just enter that keyword ComEd in the comments. So in addition to your, I guess, really more in sharing your backstory, Cardo, share with us a little bit about the challenges and joys and accomplishments because of your disability. A lot of us, like yourself, like me, and so many of our other fellow ambassadors, we have challenges, but we also have joys and accomplishments that are because of our disability and the gifts that kind of come because of. So share with us a little bit about the challenges and joys and accomplishments because of your disability.
Well, here are some joys I experienced in my lifetime. I graduated from Chicago State University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in computer science. My computer science job search has eventually led me to a web design internship at Boxes Media. It is a web design, it is a digital marketing agency. Also, I am very involved in Special Olympics and I have won numerous gold medals, and because of that, I have qualified for the Special Olympics downstate Summer Games in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois. I have qualified there numerous times. And of course, I became a ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador for EasterSeals.
Awesome. And we're going to continue in sharing your story, Cardo, and a little bit more about your involvement with the organization, EasterSeals, that you're a part of, right after the break. But we're going to go ahead and take a short commercial break and let our listeners know how they can support Special Chronicles, because if it wasn't for our supporters, it wasn't for our partner ComEd, we wouldn't be able to be behind the microphone right now and sharing the story. I want to remind the listeners, first off, if you at the $250 gift level to this podcast, Tim Shriver will send you a free autographed copy of the new book, The Call to Unite, Voices of Hope and Awakening. I actually got it physically. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. It just came in the mail for me. But let me show our live. Let me show our live stream viewers this book here, The Call to Unite, Voices of Hope and Awakening. Tim Shriver, chairman of Special Olympics, has co-edited this book. And if you want to receive your own free autographed copy of this book, all you have to do is donate to this podcast. SpecialChronicles.com/give. SpecialChronicles.com/give is how you can make the $250 gift donation to this podcast, or text give 250 to 833-953-2598. That's text give 250 to 833-953-2598, and you too can receive this a free autographed copy of this book, The Call to Unite, Voices of Hope and Awakening. And with that, we'll go ahead and take a short break. Right here, you're listening to the Special Chronicles show on SpecialChronicles.com. Support for Special Chronicles comes from listeners like you. As an independent public media podcast, Special Chronicles will always be there for you. Now we're asking you to be there for us. As a nonprofit independent media organization, we can only make programs like Special Chronicles with listener support. Our programs provide weekly, candid, honest, and inspiring conversations about the people with disabilities community that creates awareness, support, and advocacy within each week's episode. Listeners tell us our shows are an enjoyable and necessary podcast for the intellectual and developmental disability community and everyone else who is able to listen to stories about life from a different angle. Please, if you and your family love our weekly podcast, make a one-time, monthly, or annual gift of thanks today. Support this podcast at SpecialChronicles.com/give. That's SpecialChronicles.com/give. And we're back. You are listening to the Special Chronicles show right here on SpecialChronicles.com. My name is Daniel, founder of Special Chronicles, and I'm joined today on the program with Carl Sanders, fellow ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador from EasterSeals. And Carl, you gave us a little bit about your backstory personally for yourself. Let's get into now a little bit more about your involvement with the EasterSeals organization. Can you share with us a little bit about how you folks got involved in EasterSeals?
Okay. In 1997, I aged out of my previous school at the age of 14 since enrollment only doesn't go past 8th grade. After trying a few high schools, my parents eventually felt strongly that EasterSeals would be the school that would best fit my needs, and the rest is history. In my second to last year of EasterSeals, a teacher being there a few months saw potential in me and another student. We were both in the highest grade level of the school. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m., my teacher at that time was working on the two of us on algebraic concepts. Later on that year, since me and that other student were so close to aging out of EasterSeals, the vocational coordinator at that time took us to Daly College. She saw it as a promising venue for us since we were close to aging out of the program at that time. I actually went to Daly College before going to Chicago State, and I received my associate's degrees there and transferred there. Anyway, as for how I went from student to part-time employee, I got that opportunity through the school's post-secondary program. Every Tuesday, my vocational counselor trained me the ins and outs of working at the front desk. Hours before my graduation, my vocational counselor, along with the school administrator, requested an interview for the position. And of course, I got the position. I have been working there ever since. As for some of the highlights as a student, my favorite moments were field day, going to the water side in Washington Park, Special Olympics, Cubs Care. In fact, I went to the Special Olympics Hotel in 2001 along with 4 other students. Some of Cubs Care, I think I mentioned that, going to EasterSeals camp in 2003, and that airplane ride to New York City in 1998.
Awesome. And I'm sure you've really being involved in EasterSeals has really impacted you in all parts of your life, right? It's really made your involvement in EasterSeals has really impacted you from your role in your family and friends, right?
Correct.
So share with us a little bit more about what you enjoy most about your involvement in EasterSeals.
I love that it is a very positive environment for students and staff and their families. I love that it improves the lives of the students with autism and their families. As for me working at the front desk, I enjoy that. I enjoy helping the office manager on a regular basis. I love helping the principals and the assistant principal with miscellaneous tasks. I enjoy volunteering for various EasterSeals fundraisers and showing pride and dignity within the organization and representing it with pride. I met Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox, who generously donates to EasterSeals.
Awesome.
And I also contributed to Autism Awareness Week in spring 2015 with the EasterSeals parent group and a post-secondary classroom.
Awesome. And I'm sure if any of our listeners go and visit EasterSeals in Chicago, then I'm sure that they will see you there at the EasterSeals office in Chicago. And I'm sure a lot of people probably can really learn a lot from your story when they're at an EasterSeals event or like you said, if they're supporting EasterSeals, I'm sure that you get to talk with a lot of people that come into the EasterSeals office, right?
Right.
Yeah. So awesome. We're going to go ahead and take another short sponsor break. As you know, one of our main partners at ComEd is one of our main partners at Special Chronicles, and this podcast is ComEd. And if it wasn't for ComEd, just as ComEd powers lives, ComEd is powering us to be able to keep the lights on, keep this mixer, and keep this microphone turned on. We wouldn't be able to continue to keep this studio on and the lights on. I mean, right now I don't have any lights in the studio because it's light outside because of the sun coming into the window, but you get the idea. So we'll go ahead and take a short break. You're listening to the Special Chronicles show. Our guest this week is Carlos Santos, fellow ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador from EasterSeals in Chicago, is our guest on the program today. We will be back after a short message from our partner, ComEd. Support for Special Chronicles comes from ComEd. Special Chronicles is proud to partner with the ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador Program. The EnergyForce is the country's first energy efficiency education program designed for and taught by people with disabilities. ComEd is powering lives and really is powering us here at Special Chronicles to keep the lights on and our technology is powered on. As ComEd powers the lives of us, they're literally giving a voice to people with special needs. We thank ComEd for the generous support of our mission at Special Chronicles. Learn more at specialchronicles.com/ComEd. That's specialchronicles.com/ComEd. We're back. I feel like I should have probably turned the light on to let you know we're back, but we're back. This is Daniel, founder of Special Chronicles and Shriver International Global Messenger of Special Olympics and a ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador. You are listening to the Special Chronicles show. Our guest this week on this episode 424 is Carl Sanders, fellow ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador from EasterSeals in Chicago. So, Carl, as now we get into the third segment of the program today. In talking about your role, just like me, with the ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador, you see what I'm wearing. I don't know. I can't point because the screen is opposite of where I'm pointing. you get the idea. But you see ComEd EnergyForce. I think that's what it says on the show. Podcast listeners, check out the video on YouTube and see what I mean. What I'm wearing. But if you also see it above you, Cardo, on the screen, you see presented by ComEd EnergyForce. So, Cardo, as I said at the top of the program today, this is your first year with the program. It's my fourth year with the program, and it's Cardo, your first year. And as you know from our training we had about four months ago, the beginning of 2021, the ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador Program is celebrating the 10th anniversary. So tell us about how. So usually we're at events, but now usually we have to have 12 events in a year, but now we have to do 10 virtual engagements online. So tell us first how and when you and EasterSeals first got involved with partnering with the ComEd EnergyForce Program.
Well, EasterSeals has been a part of the ComEd EnergyForce for 10 years. As a matter of fact, my longtime colleague Maurice Snell was a ComEd EnergyForce ambassador for many years. He has since gone on to bigger and better things. I am so grateful and fortunate that I am the one chosen to fulfill his legacy.
Awesome. And also, Luis, you said who you're taking over. I got to know him the past few years. So it's amazing that you're able to take over his legacy and help to educate the public, as we all do as ComEd ambassadors, in educating the public about energy efficiency tips. In our next sponsor break, people will hear a few of those energy efficiency tips, thanks to our partnership with ComEd. But tell us what you enjoy about this partnership with the ComEd EnergyForce Program.
Well, since I am new to this, I look forward. Some of my favorite things. Working with other ComEd ambassadors. I also enjoy doing the podcast right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I will enjoy other things, such as making flyers for energy, making flyers that have energy tips, making loser on energy tips, and brochures and pamphlets, and finally going back to in-person engagements.
Awesome.
Once the time is right.
Awesome. And is there a favorite memory that you have I just the past 4 months of a digital engagement that you've done?
Well, I guess since it's new, I guess this Does this count as right now as a favorite memory, what I'm doing right now?
Yeah, it counts. This podcast counts.
So yeah.
Awesome. And so we're gonna go ahead and as you know, you all know, listeners by now, ComEd is one of the awesome things by ComEd partnering with this podcast and this network, this platform, Special Chronicles, is you get to hear energy efficiency tips. That's one of the benefits of when we take these sponsor breaks. You get to hear some energy efficiency tips, and that's what you are about to hear right now in this final sponsor break. When we come back, we'll get into some plugs and talking about inclusion and final thoughts at the end of the program as we wrap up. But you're listening to the Special Chronicles show right here on SpecialChronicles.com. Our guest is Carlos Sandos. Don't go away. We'll be right back to wrap up this episode after a quick message with energy efficiency tips, thanks to our partnership with ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador Program.
Hi, my name is Lisa Noble, and I'm a ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador and an athlete with Special Olympics Illinois.
Hi, my name is Daniel Spakowski, and I also am a ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador and founder of a company called Special Chronicles.
The ComEd EnergyForce Program is a program that hires people with disabilities to teach the public how to save energy and money.
It's the country's first energy efficiency program of its kind.
Saving energy is especially important while everyone is at home due to COVID-19. We're using more electricity than ever before. Just think about how many more times you are opening the refrigerator door these days.
And while the economy is stressed, it's more critical than ever to save money where we can. Following these tips can save energy and money in this time of COVID-19.
Wash your clothes in cold water and use the dryer sparingly.
Your dryer can take up to 7 times more energy than the washer.
Turn off and unplug any electrical devices or power strips you are not using.
Electrical devices can continue to zap power even when turned off if they're still plugged in. We call them vampire devices.
Use LED bulbs.
They use 25% less energy than incandescent bulbs and last up to 25 times longer, saving you lots of money over time.
Keep your refrigerator between 35 and 38 degrees.
And be sure to use Energy Star appliances.
And last but not least, check out ComEd.com/home savings for more tips and rebates.
Lisa and I would like to thank you for taking the time to listen to us today.
Remember, we are all in this together.
Stay healthy.
And stay safe.
Bye. We're back. You are listening to the Special Chronicles show right here on SpecialChronicles.com. Our guest is Carlos Sandos, ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador from EasterSeals in Chicago. And we are going to wrap up this episode. It's been a blast having you on, Carlos. But first, a question that I usually end a lot of these podcasts with, a lot of these conversations with, is talking about inclusion. It's I know in Special Olympics it's really important with inclusion revolution, and even here at Special Chronicles, it's really in all the podcasts and blogs and digital media content that we're producing here on SpecialChronicles.com. Inclusion is really important, just like I'm sure with you and your work with EasterSeals and even the ComEd EnergyForce program. It's important that those of us like you and me and so many others with disabilities are included. I know ComEd with the EnergyForce Ambassador is really taking inclusion to a new level with this program, with letting us be part of the nation's first energy efficiency program taught by people with disabilities. So in the theme of inclusion, can you share with us, what does inclusion mean to you?
To me, inclusion means including people with disabilities and other minority groups into society and not making them feel left out or less than.
Awesome. Awesome. So, are there any plugs on social media and website for you and your organization, EasterSeals? And then we'll also mention any plugs for the ComEd EnergyForce Program. But are there any plugs that you would like to share with our listeners?
Well, our website at EasterSealsChicago.org. We can also be found on our social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Awesome. And if people want to find EasterSeals on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, they can just go to EasterSealsChicago.org and find all those links.
Yes.
Awesome. So we'll put links in the show notes on SpecialChronicles.com for this episode 424 to EasterSealsChicago.org. And again, if you want to learn more about the ComEd EnergyForce program that both Cardo and I both are part of, ComEd.com/EnergyForce is where you can go to learn more about the program, as well as to meet all of us ambassadors. Our bios are listed on there, ComEd.com/EnergyForce. That link as well will be in the show notes, as well as all the ComEd's, all of ComEd's social media as well. And SpecialChronicles.com/EnergyForce is the podcast page for this series, this ComEd EnergyForce podcast series. You can find links to subscribe to this series and how to get in touch and donate to Special Chronicles. And before we let you get, we didn't have anybody until the giveaway that we had. So folks, if you're watching, stay tuned to upcoming week when we do these giveaways for our live stream viewers. So if you're listening or watching on demand later, just keep in mind that our giveaway is for our live stream viewers, and maybe you can win a giveaway like one of our listeners last week did. With that, any final thoughts on your overall time here today, Cardo, on Special Chronicles that you like on the Special Chronicles podcast that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, since like it was mentioned earlier, this is my first year as a ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador for EasterSeals, and I look forward to all future engagements, virtual and eventually in person. Also, it has been such a pleasure being on this podcast. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Awesome. Yeah, I've enjoyed talking with you as well. I want to remind our listeners, if you would like to send us any audio or email feedback, you can send an email with any audio or email feedback to feedback@specialchronicles.com. That's feedback@specialchronicles.com. And if you want to get in touch with me on Instagram or any social media at PodmanDan, PodManDan at PodmanDan, and you can find out how to find out about get in touch with this network and this podcast, Special Chronicles, by going to SpecialChronicles.com is how you can get in touch with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Vimeo, on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, and our newsletter as well. All the links you can find on SpecialChronicles.com. And remember, if you want to receive your own autographed copy of Tim Shriver's the book that Tim Shriver has co-edited, if you make a $250 gift to this podcast, SpecialChronicles.com/give, or text give to 833-953-2598, Tim Shriver will send you a free autographed copy of this book, The Call to Unite: Voices of Hope and Awakening. Once again, if you make a $250 gift donation to this podcast, Tim Shriver will send you a free autographed copy of this book that I'm holding in my hand, The Call to Unite: Voices of Hope and Awakening. Once again, all you have to do is just go to SpecialChronicles.com/give, SpecialChronicles.com/give, or text give to 833-953-2598, and then Tim Shriver will send you a free autographed copy of this book, Call to Unite: Voices of Hope and Awakening. And links, you can find links to donate on SpecialChronicles.com. So it's been a joy having you on, Cardo, and hopefully we can have you back on again sometime. And folks, stay tuned next week where we'll have another ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador. And all the way from now until the end of June, we have weekly episodes with a few of our fellow ComEd EnergyForce Ambassadors right here on the Special Chronicles Show. So you've been listening to the Special Chronicles Show on SpecialChronicles.com. Thank you again, Cardo, for coming on the program today.
You're welcome. And remember, clean energy is good energy.
Yes, remember clean energy is good energy, and remember choose to include. We'll see you next week. Check out our podcast, Special Chronicles, wherever you do your podcast, SpecialChronicles.com. You can go to get in touch with us on podcast. My name is Dan. I am your host, Cardo.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.